Yo, what is up, guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. If you're new here, if you could smash the subscribe button, and also if you guys could hit the like, it goes a long way for channel growth. Anyway, let's talk about Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Now, when I see online people talking about this fight, a lot of people seem to be assuming that this fight is a foregone conclusion should it happen. A lot of people seem to be convinced that Tyson Fury wins this fight and wins it easily, and I've got to say, while I make Tyson Fury a favourite, it wouldn't be a fight where I would feel comfortable betting my last £100. Do you know what I mean? I still think this is a very competitive fight and a very dangerous fight for both fighters. So the confidence Tyson Fury fans are showing, I think it is merely due to, fanboyism basically. That's understandable. They're backing their boy. He's coming off a great performance against Deontay Wilder, and they expect him to carry that over into a potential Anthony Joshua fight. So I see where the confidence is coming from, but, boxing doesn't work like that. Every fight is different. Joshua is a completely different style to Deontay Wilder, and he brings his own unique strengths to the table. And I've got to say, this fight for me is all about how Tyson Fury approaches it mainly. Now, a lot of people are making out like Tyson Fury is this all-time great puncher now that he's knocked out Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury is obviously a guy who can punch hard. He's a big dude. He's 6'9", weighs 270 pounds. The guy has some sort of power, but he's not no monster puncher. Tyson Fury is an adaptable fighter. He adapts to any given style or scenario. Tyson Fury can also adjust mid-fight to what his opponents are doing. We saw that, for example, in the Otto Wallin fight, and even way back when against Steve Cunningham. And these attributes are what makes Tyson Fury a great fighter. What makes him great is his adaptability and his well-rounded game, where he can do most things in the ring to a good standard. He's not one-dimensional. And for me, this potential Anthony Joshua fight is all really down to how Tyson Fury approaches it and what game plan he uses. After Tyson Fury's one-sided destruction of Deontay Wilder, I've seen a lot of people out there say that Tyson Fury should keep that style for the rest of his career. And while I get it, listen, Tyson Fury was very impressive in that Wilder rematch. But despite that, listen, it's a case-by-case basis. I don't want to see Tyson Fury get pigeonholed by having one style. I still want to see Tyson Fury adapt to each opponent that he's fighting. Because if you keep that same style, eventually you're going to run into an opponent who has a style to counteract that come forward style. So I want to see Tyson Fury keep on adapting, keep on changing things up, because ultimately that's what makes him the fighter he is today, the adaptability. And that brings me onto his Anthony Joshua fight. Tyson Fury fighting on the front foot against Anthony Joshua. Listen, I can see a scenario where it works. If Tyson Fury fights a similar fight against Joshua, makes it a high pace, makes Joshua work really hard, and he gets through the early rounds, I could easily see a scenario where Tyson Fury basically drowns Anthony Joshua late on and stops him. I can see that scenario. I think that's a realistic scenario. However, I believe that style against Joshua coming forward is a lot more risky than it was against Deontay Wilder. And listen, yes, I get it. Deontay Wilder has a crazy right hand. He's got mad power. If you get hit with that shot, chances are you're going down and maybe you're going to sleep. So yeah, Deontay Wilder has that right hand. But Joshua has a far more varied offensive arsenal than Deontay Wilder. First and foremost, Joshua's got power in both hands, and he's very good at the mid-range, in the mid-range area, and he's solid on the inside. And if you come in forwards, you're going to be encroaching on that mid-range area where Joshua, in my opinion, is at his best. So with Joshua, you're not just looking for a right hand, you're looking for shots with both hands, you're looking for that ramrod jab, the short chopping right hand over the top, the uppercut through the middle, the left hook. Joshua's got a much more varied arsenal in comparison to Deontay Wilder. So coming forwards to me against Joshua is a far more risky proposition than it was against Deontay Wilder. Again, that's not to say Tyson Fury can't beat Joshua on the front foot. I could see a scenario where that works. I really could. But I do believe it's more risky against Anthony Joshua. You know, Joshua is, like I say, he's just much more offensively varied than Deontay Wilder. He throws a greater selection of shots. You know, like I say, left hook, right hand over the top, uppercuts through the middle, hard jab. He can do all of that. He can put shots together in 2s and 3s. He's got nice hand speed. He's explosive, power in both hands. He's a much more varied offensive fighter. So for me, if I'm Tyson Fury, I would rather take those advantages away from Anthony Joshua and make Joshua chase the fight. Keep the range, keep Joshua turning, keep on throwing those feints, throwing the jab from body to head, and basically befuddling Anthony Joshua with movement, feints, and the jab. I think that style, for me, is all wrong for Anthony Joshua. I don't think Joshua really has the foot speed to catch up with that sort of Tyson Fury, the outboxer. I don't think he's got the boxing acumen to outbox him. And yeah, I don't see he's got the ability to cut off a ring. So for me, in a potential Anthony Joshua fight, I would rather see Tyson Fury box on the back foot from a strategic point of view. Coming forwards to me is a lot more risky. And that's what makes this fight interesting, is how Tyson Fury approaches it. If Tyson Fury comes forwards against Anthony Joshua, it's very risky. It really is. But it will be a very good fight. If Fury comes forwards, it's going to be a great fight. But yeah, I do feel some people go over the top when it comes to Anthony Joshua. Some people act like this guy is a pure media manufactured fighter. And while yes, the TV companies do hype him up, that is true. He's a very good fighter in his own right, and he's done some good things, and we shouldn't lose sight of that. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there who overhype him, aka the Matchroom Mongs. We've seen that, you know. I saw a poll on Twitter today where BT Boxing, they asked who wins, Anthony Joshua or a prime Larry Holmes, and the Matchroom Mongs were out in force, and they said Anthony Joshua would beat Larry Holmes. I think it was like 56% of people thought Joshua beats Larry Holmes. So yeah, people overrate Joshua, but there's a contingent of people who just shit on this guy like he's a bum. Joshua's a good fighter and quite varied offensively for a heavyweight, so he's a risky fighter for Tyson Fury. It's certainly not an easy fight. And yeah, that's really just my 2 cents on the situation, to be honest with you. But anyway, you know, I guess we have to wrap this one up. The main thing is this fight actually happens, because obviously we've got the old Corona going on right now. That's postponing things, and, you know, after Corona, Joshua's got his mandatory in Pulev. Tyson Fury's got to fight Wilder a 3rd time, so maybe, you know, this fight goes out the window. Maybe one of these guys has a hiccup, who knows, that could happen, but hopefully we see this fight in the near future, because, you know, for the heavyweight division, it's a massive fight. And for the UK, this is a super fight. In fact, I don't think super fight even does it justice. This is arguably the biggest fight in British boxing history. This fight has to happen. You know, there's been numerous fights in the past, since I've been a boxing fan, that I've never seen. Whether that be due to ducking, promotional issues, whatever it may be, there have been numerous fights over the years that I would have loved to have seen but I've never seen, aka Sergey Kovalev versus Adonis Stevenson. There's loads of these fights, but if Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury doesn't happen, listen, that is devastating for British boxing, it really is. This is the biggest fight in British boxing history, and if it doesn't happen, what does that say for the sport of boxing in the UK? And in the world, really, the sport of boxing in general? This fight has to happen. If it doesn't, it would cause a lot of damage to British boxing as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I say, if you could smash the like, hit the subscribe button, that would be much appreciated. And if you guys have any topics that you would like me to look at, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Peace.